Obviously, a very disappointing effort and performance tonight. Every time you put on a WKU uniform, we expect to give our best effort and energy and togetherness and represent our university and community in a better manner than that. So that first half was very, obviously we didn't do a good job at preparing and being ready to play tonight. So we're either going to use this game as an opportunity and an avenue to really look in the mirror and evaluate where we're at, or obviously, or we got a long way to go. I think maybe through our struggles this year, every game has maybe we've put a Band-Aid on it, or we've found a way to maybe think that it's not tragedy. Losing close to Jack State or being down one versus middle, this and that. But there are some problems that have been building that really showed tonight as far as our togetherness and extra efforts and defensive intensity and moving the ball on offense and playing for one another and just having a mentality that goes into success. So this is certainly probably the first one since I'd say Michigan where we really have some soul searching to do, and obviously they don't give you much time. So we got about 46 hours to turn it around. Somebody told me Louisiana Tech's winning here tonight, and obviously they've done some soul searching and turned some stuff around in the last few days. So when you go through this gauntlet of a conference, there's ups and downs, and we need to make sure tonight's a low point and that we're able to improve. Obviously our goal is to go to Huntsville and play well. Sometimes you need an experience like this to really look in the mirror and get yourself to where you need to be. So we're going to do everything above and beyond to use tonight to make sure we represent all of us a lot better than we did here this Thursday night.
Certainly seemed like it was some unusual rotations for you guys tonight. Start with Jalen getting his first career start, but also Christian and Enoch seem to be pretty limited. I don't think either even played the second half.
Christian Lander had his back's been bothering him since the game on Saturday, so he did not practice Monday or Tuesday. Christian's been a huge part of our team, and I would just say it's physical with him. Once that game got to where it was, he was trying to play in the first half. After not practicing a couple days, didn't want to start him, but that's why he didn't start. But he tried to gut it out and go, so his is just a physical issue. Other than for him, I would tell you the rest of ours is based on rotations and playing time. The rest of that is based on practice and where we're at as a team. And we, as a group, we saw some. I wouldn't tell you we had the best practice habits all week. And when you, as a coach, obviously the last step you can make is to try to send a message. Jalen Dorsey, for certainly every day that I've been here for 2 years, brings a positive attitude and is a very good player and competes and will put the team above himself. And so, I think when you make a decision like that, obviously you're at the point as a coach where you feel that it's needed. Sometimes obviously guys do care about lineups and starting and things like that, and we sense some issues coming. So maybe it helped, maybe it hurt, but you need to reward the consistent guys, and he is probably the most consistent in our program. Obviously, he's stepped up many times here recently and been ready to go. So we're just trying to, like I said, the game kind of showed a little bit what we've been seeing in practice. We really need to re-find ourselves and to have a championship attitude every day. We've been struggling to do that here recently, and obviously, like I said, you try to avoid a humbling experience like tonight, but we obviously were not able to do that.
Hank, you mentioned defensive intensity. How do you get that back?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to have. I mean, I always talk about defense as just effort and togetherness and multiple efforts. There's times where we're going to pressure, remember, make a double team on the ball, but when it's passed out, we're just standing straight up. Like, our team has been really good when our quickness, and we're making second, third, fourth, fifth efforts, rotation, never stopping. And it just seems like certainly the last few games we have not been doing that. So, how do we get it back? Well, that's the $1 million question. So we're gonna work at it. We did a very good job from probably the Michigan game, and obviously the FIU game is a little bit of an outlier. So from that game up until maybe that Jacksonville State, they had 85 and they beat us, but the middle 80-something, these guys were running up points. Like we've been, our defensive efficiency, about 2 weeks ago, I think we were the 8th in all mid-major schools. I think we were ranked 8th in defensive efficiency. So that had been a strength that was kind of keeping us together. And like I said, when these cracks in the road start showing as far as a team and togetherness and all that, defense is usually where it shows itself, because there's no glory in playing good defense. You don't get statistics. You don't get Conference USA Player of the Week. Jalen Jackson's been a great defender for 6 years. He doesn't get Conference USA Player of the Week because he's a great defender. So it's kind of the gritty, unheralded part of the game, but it's the winning part of the game, and we certainly need to get back to it if we want to get back to winning.
Losing the last 4, and you hate to lose a game like tonight, but do you feel kind of grateful that you have a couple more games to build on this for the rest of the year before you go into the conference?
We're going to keep going, man. We're going to keep going and give this everything we got now. I guess I feel that there's recognition of our issues after tonight's game. So if I feel grateful for anything, man, if we can't look ourselves in the mirror and recognize that we got some problems that we need to address fast, and we can't just put Band-Aids on, we really got to dig into the core of what the issues are and improve as a group, then if tonight doesn't teach you that, I don't know what will. So the gift and the curse of this group and this team is probably our experience together. I remind the players all the time, we're an 8-8 team in the league last year that made the conference tournament, that won the conference tournament and made the NCAA tournament. So we've always been a little bit of, a huge upside, but at the same time, we didn't go 13-3 and make that run last year. We had bumps in the road. So this group has seen it all. The league obviously keeps on coming, and I am grateful that we have 5 more games, and I never really care. I never really care what our record is. We're going to try to, we're going to do better than this now. But we started the season 0-2 playing Wichita State and Grand Canyon, and trust me, if I really cared what the appearance was or anything like that, we wouldn't have started the season like that. So, maybe playing Michigan after break. Maybe there's been times where we bit off a little bit more than we can chew, but we've been through it. So I think when you look at a 4-game lose, I was talking to Coach Mudge before the game. They were 1-10 after 11 games, and now they've had 3 very impressive performances in a row. I think storylines, and I get it, social media and media, you look for storylines. But man, there's a lot of small things that lead to these. We beat New Mexico State by 32 points. We're up 3 with 1 minute to go in the first half. And a run breaks that open. And shoot, they're able to go, and I think they beat Jacksonville State on the road tonight. They're every team in our league, and we really hadn't had a brutally humbling game yet. UTEP lost at home by a lot of points. Obviously, like I said, Jack State lost tonight. It does it to you, and it's really how you react. Life is how you react when things don't go your way. And man, we've had moments where we react in a together, strong, confident way, and for whatever reason here these last 2 weeks, we have not really done that. So, it's not a scheme thing. It's not a basketball thing. It's after almost 2 full years and certainly some massive success in the middle of it. Are we going to choose one last time? There's a bunch of seniors now. We're going to choose one last time to put the individualness, the individual feelings and all that aside to play for the name on the front of our jersey. And that's what these guys have always chosen to do in the past, and obviously this game is going to force us to do it here moving forward.
25 points in the first half. What do you feel like the issues were there, if
I
any?
think our lack of defense showed an offense. We're allowing baskets that are uncharacteristic and then taking very quick jump shots coming back. And again, I'll always go back. I get it. It stands out when you miss catch and shoot threes, and we did miss some easy ones. But man, we are doing a very poor job at scoring inside the 3-point line, and obviously our size is part of that. But man, it's a very strong physical league, and like I said, when you're not digging down deep as hard as there's going to be contact, you're going to get shoved, there's going to be pushing, there's going to be double teams, there's going to be scraping at the ball. Those are the things that we want to do on defense. When we're defending at a high level, we do all those things. So we have to accept that those things are going to happen, and we don't want it to be easy. There's times we miss shots, and I see us looking for foul calls or stuff like that. That's not going to lead. You should be focused on making the shot. So. I don't know. By the end of the night or first half, I guess, Obviously 4 for 17 from 3 is not great. 5 for 12 from 2. Second half, 5 for 13 from 3, 8 for 23 from 2. So just, I think our defense and our lack of just togetherness was causing it to be some individual play on the offensive side. And I do think when we all of a sudden missed a couple clean looks, that then forced us to, they go down and score, and now we feel rushed and not quite patient enough to work together to get a good shot on offense.
Second half, when you guys kind of showed more signs of life offensively, that they really held you off by hitting some threes too. They did a much better job.
Their best players, Huffner and Wilkerson, we're pressuring out and we're trying to get back in the game and playing with way more energy on the defensive side, but you still have to know where those guys are. So, it was their two best players that made those shots, and if you leave those guys, they're going to make you pay.
Coach, did you like what you saw from Braxton and Jack? In the midst of that drought, they seem to be the two that were really pushing that offense and keeping the energy alive on the side.
Yeah, those two guys have a very high care factor, and I thought they continued to, we're going to play the guys that are playing, like I said, that have that, and don't get me wrong, every single player on our team has time and time again shown the ability to do that. When we're playing well, there's 8 or 9 or 10 guys playing well, and I can't decide which 5 to put on the floor. But obviously we gotta get back to that. I think Braxton and Jack they're fighters, man. Those, and I throw Jalen Jackson in there too. Those 3 guys are, there's a lot of guys their size in this world, and not a lot of them play high-level college basketball. You got to have a pretty big heart to do that, and I think those 3 guys continue to battle, and that's why we played them the second half.
Just back to Lander too. A back injury can be a tricky thing. Is this kind of a strain thing? What are you looking at?
He had an MRI result that came in right before the game, so I guess it's X-ray Monday. Nothing broken. MRI. I think there's something inflamed. I believe. Literally, John Irwin came in 45 minutes before the game and told me specifically what it was, but medically, it's not something that can get worse, but it's causing just some pain and I think it's a lower back, maybe there's inflammation, or I think something's inflamed. So I don't know if that's a nerve issue or muscle. I guess I'm not exactly sure, but he practiced yesterday and felt good, and maybe you shouldn't have, because I think today he seemed a little bit sore. So a day-to-day thing that obviously he's, I'll give Christian a lot of credit. He's played these last month like a senior. That's obviously, he's been here for multiple years. His father was an athlete here. Finishing the season strong means the world to him. So we'll have his back, and hopefully he's ready to go Saturday. But certainly he'll be a big part of what we do down the stretch.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.